Good afternoon, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 59. Today is actually Sunday, but I do need to catch you up a little bit. Yesterday was Saturday. I was passing by a casino, and I had my son with me, and I said, let me just hop in here real quick, and there was just a freebie thing I could pick up and leave. So I told him to just sit in the car, wait for me. Don't tell anybody because I'll get in trouble, but he's old enough that he can take care of himself. He sat in the car, I ran in, came back out, and I was in and out of there in, I believe, 11 minutes, and I found one play and ended up ahead $175. So that's 175 organic dollars, not free play dollars or anything. I actually made $175. So 175 real quick there. And then today, like I said, is Sunday, and I can't help it. I got to go out there and make some money, take some revenge for what happened on Friday, and hopefully I don't eat my words, but today's going to be revenge day. We're going to go make some money today. I would love to make between $2,000 and $3,000. I don't know if it's possible or not. I'm going to be in small places today, but we're going to give it a shot. I'm only going to have one, maybe two opportunities to play blackjack, most likely just one. I am also going to meet with a friend of mine to pick up the packets of pounds, British pounds, for my trip. So as you'll recall, I did just ask for $3,000 for now. I don't know if I'm going to gamble there or not, but worst case, that'll be spending money, and he and I can figure out what to do with it. If I still have some left, I think he'll probably buy it back if I do. Otherwise, the bank is a good place. I think I talked about that before. My bank, I think, charges $8, one flat fee, to take or to give you foreign currency. So whatever you need, get as much as you need, because it's a flat $8. It's worth it for me. So let me see what else. It's early afternoon. I was just leaving the house. I was getting ready to get my shoes on to leave, and my son comes running in. Dad, can you help me? I said, sure. What do you need? And he said, it's really windy outside, and I want to fly the kite. So we have this kite. It is a gigantic skeleton. I would say, I said longer before, but I think it's probably about 20 feet tall total, with a big skeleton head, and then the legs are just, like tails for the kite. And we got that thing up as high as it would go. I think there's probably like 250 or 300 feet of string there. We got it all the way up there. It was a lot of fun, and he was just reeling it in as I was leaving. I couldn't help myself. Little kid wants you to help him with a kite. You don't say, no, I'm going to go gamble. I'm not going to do that. So I helped him get the kite up, and he and his friends had fun. For Christmas, he had wanted a camera, and we bought him just a cheap camera, and he ended up it didn't work very well, so we got rid of that and got him a really nice camera. And he ran in the house and got the camera and took pictures of the kite, so he had a good time. So anyway, right now I am just starting my journey, early afternoon, 46 degrees outside, very windy, like 30-mile-an-hour winds, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. Oh man, there's smoke coming out of my ears right now. I'm so upset. I go into this place, I find one good play at $10 a spin. I'm involved for $3,200 before it finally finishes the play, and I end up down $2,900 on the play. Walk around, find some other plays, little things here and there, up 500, up 200, up 300, down 400, down 300, up and down. Just the most frustrating experience, especially after my last one was so frustrating. I'm not even doing anything wrong. I'm not pushing stuff. I'm not overdoing it. Now, normally, I may not have played this $10 a spin bet. not because it wasn't positive EV, but because I didn't want the variance. And here's the variance, because I ended up playing it because I didn't mind a little bit of variance. I was hoping it would go my way, even though it was positive EV, and it didn't go my way. And the worst thing is, while I was playing, these slot hustlers were like walking around me, and I'm like, dude, I finally said something to them. I said, you can have the machine when I'm done with it, and tell your friends the same thing. And it's like, man, you don't just keep walking around in circles like a vulture waiting for someone to finish. Let me play, sit behind me and wait for 5 minutes if you want. Wait for me to get up and then sit down if you want the machine. But you can tell I know what I'm doing by the way I'm playing the machine. So I don't know what your problem is. Anyway, so stressful for no reason. So ridiculous. So anyway, I'm on my way, continuing my trip. Here. So I am going to skip the next place. I'm going to go play some blackjack, and then I'm going to meet my friend and get those British pounds from him. And I'll be back. I'll update you here in a little bit. Right now, I just need to cool off, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So that was better, but still, it happened in the worst possible way. Let's start with blackjack, since I played blackjack first. I went to the high limit area. There were some $50 tables. I wanted to sit down, but no room there. $100 tables. There was one table with one guy on it, and he was about to start a new shoe. So I rushed over there. I bought in for $500 on a $100 minimum, and this guy next to me bought in for $700. And this man screwed me any way that he possibly could. He did the wrong thing. And every time I had a big hand out there and lost because of it. I'm like, oh, there we go again. Oh, there we go again. I would have won. Would have been a 21. Dealer would have busted. Over and over and over again. So I didn't like that very much. So by the time he left the table, I was down about 1,500 or so. Nothing too dramatic. But when he was at the table, the count was staying pretty steady. So I was, a true 1, 0, maybe 1.5, not really going anywhere. As soon as he leaves, the next 3 shoes are all severe shoes. And this is a problem for me, because when he was at that table, we probably weren't being watched very much because our bets were low. Now, he leaves, and the next shoe, the counts go sky high. So by the end of the shoe, I'm rebuying 500, rebuying 1,000, so now I'm really showing. So I'll give you an example. At one point, I had a $500 handout. I had $200 left, and I get a double down. So of course I buy in for more, double it down. I don't know what happened on that hand. Then I had 2 aces. I had a $300 hand. I was short some chips, so I rebought. Split the aces. I got a 3 and a 5, lost them both. And then at the end of a shoe, I had a $900 handout. I mean, I would have put 1,000 out, but I had 900 in cash. 900 in chips, and I didn't want to buy in for 100 so I could bet 1,000. If you know what I mean. So I had a $900 handout. I get 2 aces against the dealer's 7. And I'm like flashing back to where I just lost, $600 on the 2 aces. And this place does not have resplit aces, so that's a big problem too. I do so much better. Obviously, I do so much better when you can resplit aces. But so I rebuy for 1,000 more, and I put the other 900 out there. So the pit boss comes over and has to look, and I'm like, oh, I was just trying to get out of here. I just went all in out of desperation, blah, 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 Oh, no problem, I understand, So I end up splitting them. I get a 7 on one. The dealer has a 7, by the way. I get a 7 on one, so I have an 18, so I'm feeling pretty good. And I get a 4 on the other one. The dealer turns over a 10, so I push one. No, I lose one and I win one, so I end up breaking even on it. But now I brought a lot more attention. Now I've bought in for like 3,000 total. The next shoe, worst case scenario happens. Okay, so the next shoe starts. I just bet 1,000, or actually I was probably down to like 600 at the end of that shoe. next shoe starts, so I start with a $200 hand, and just because I figure, I'm not going to go down to table minimum, after that, I just made a big scene, so I bet 200, the count starts going positive, so I'm good, I stay at 200, then it goes negative, and I go table minimum the rest of the shoe, so I just went $1,000, or 900, and then I went table minimum for almost the whole shoe, so that's not good. Next shoe is flat 2/3 of the way through the shoe. It's just flat, 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 and then goes sky high at the end. Perfect for a card counter. And what do? I start raising my bets at the end. So now I'm getting nervous. At this point, it's only me at the table. There's 4 people waiting to sit down at the table. So I'm like, this is a good excuse to get out of here. I just don't want to be down at the end of this shoe, right? So I'm down. No, I'm up like I don't know. I was right around ahead a little. I think I was up $100. I don't know. Anyway, you can figure it out backwards here. So I bet a $400. I was down 100. So I put a $400 hand out there, and I could see that it was the last hand of the shoe, right? Because the dealer was about to take a card, and he didn't need to on the hand before. So it exposed the yellow card underneath. So I knew this is the last hand. But it was a high count. I was supposed to bet 400. I'm like, oh man, let's just win this hand and get out of here. I bet the 400. It's a double down. So I double it down. I end up winning, and I end up leaving ahead 700 from that table. But that was like, I haven't felt that bad in a long time, because I went neutral, neutral, neutral for many shoes, and then high, and then big negative, and then high again, and just exposed all my bets, and it just looked awful. So hopefully it's not a big deal. They didn't say anything. I went and cashed out $2,700. Then I looked at slots, and then I went to the poker room and cashed out the last 1,000, and I was done. So I did play some slots, and I was hanging around 0, +20, +30 for a long time, and then I had a big play, and I'm like, let's just have this play go well. I don't want to give back the 700 I just won, and I'm already down from earlier. Let's just have this play work out. Put in 100, put in 100, put in 100, put in 100, put in 100. I'm like, son of a. So I'm in this machine for $1,000. I've got like 214 left in the machine when it finally hits for $1,500 and something dollars. So I end up ahead, like 729 by the time everything was all done. They always come around. You want us to take out federal? I said, federal's for winners. Because I don't want them to take out federal. Even if I have to pay at the end of the year, I want to control the money. I don't want the government to have my money for the whole year, and I get no interest on there. You know what I mean? So anyway, then I looked around for more slots and didn't find anything. I went back to the blackjack area 3 or 4 times looking for a table. Those 4 guys were there for a long time, and then finally those guys got up, except for one guy. And by this point, I had gotten a text message from my friend. His plane had landed, and we're supposed to meet. So I decided, all right, just get out of here and go meet him, because if I went directly to the restaurant where we were going to meet, I'd have 15 minutes to spare. Why would I sit down at a table and get stuck or have some weird stuff happen? And, so it just wasn't worth it. So I decided to take off and go to the restaurant and then just get a table and wait for him. So that's what happened. So we got half our money back that we had just lost, a little more than half. And, yeah, about half, I guess. And we are moving on. We're going to this restaurant right now. We're going to have a beer. We're going to buy these British pounds, and then we're going to figure out what to do from there. It's still kind of early, so there's still opportunity to maybe go back and play some blackjack. I'm not positive, though, because might go to another casino. As much as I hate to go to this other one because they're so sweaty, it might make sense tonight because of timing. So we'll see how long having a beer and dinner takes, and I'll figure it out from there, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. So I met with my friend. I got the 1,000-pound packs from him, which are very interesting. And all of them actually came from casinos. So he was actually thinking, it doesn't matter if they have all these numbers and stuff on them. Will it relate it to his play? But I doubt it. I'm just going to open them up and use the money anyway. Even if I'm buying it at the table, I will just open up the pack at the table and hand them the cash out of the pack. I'm not going to buy in for 1,000 at a time usually. So anyway, I met my friend at a brewery type place. Gorgeous place, man. It's like such a nice place, huge place, and they got all these high top tables, like all connected to each other, like a picnic type of, bunch of tables connecting, and you go to this one area and you buy your food, and then excuse me, and then you pick a table, sit down, you go up to the bar to get your drinks. So that was really good, actually. I had a nice dark beer. Normally, I'm not much of a drinker, but I do like my dark beers. And I had a nice pepperoni pizza. Beautiful. It was really good. I was really happily surprised. And then he showed me the 1,000-pound packs. They were pretty cool. I bought those, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I leave with 3 and I come back with 12 or 14. That would be beautiful. I doubt that's going to happen because I'm not going to have 20 hours to play, but it would be a lot of fun. So right now, normally when I'm in this area, I would not go to this next casino because it's normally not worth it, but it's only 9 o'clock. It's early. So I'm going to go to this casino and see how things are. And I'm thinking about playing blackjack again at a different casino that's a little bit sweaty, but we'll see what happens here in a little bit. Right now I'm going to move on to the next casino, play some slots there, and then I'll be back and let you know what happens. Alright guys, I'm back. Man, that took such a long time. I was expecting to be in and out, and normally I would just skip this place. I wouldn't even come here if I was a little bit behind on time, but I had some extra time. I swung by here, and I was in for about $20 in the machines, and I was leaving with $259, so I was pretty happy with that. I see another machine, I start playing that, I lose the $259, and I'm involved for another $500. So now, I'm in for a total of $500 actually. So I was ahead $239. Now I'm down $500 before I finally hit. And by the time everything settled, I ended up ahead $723. So plus $723, and I actually got a W2. That's my second W2 of the day, but the guy was gone for like half an hour, like 27 minutes. It looks like he was gone. So that really screws things up for me. I don't think I want to go to that blackjack casino now because it's going to add way too much time to my trip, and now I'm going to have to worry about being late for work. So anyway, let me think here. Get there by, and then, yeah, I mean, I'm already going to be getting home around 4. It doesn't make sense to push it and then, not sleep at all. At least I'll get a couple hours sleep before I go to work. So anyway, plus whatever I just said, it was 723 at that spot, and it's like a day of sevens, right? So we lose a bunch of money, and then we win 700, 700, 700, and now we're back in the hunt here. So maybe we can get a little bit closer at the next casino. I was really hoping to play more blackjack, but that's all right. Either I'll play it in London or when I get back. So anyway, for now, I am letting you go. It's about 45 degrees outside, so about the same temperature as when I left home, but it's getting late, so I'll be back. You know what I was just thinking? I just finished up at this next spot, by the way. I was just thinking, is it possible that a day of breaking even would be better than a day of work? I mean, the answer should obviously be no, but man, it's so much better than being at work. Anyway, I moved on to the next spot, Walked in there, it was kind of dead, actually, and usually this place is not dead. This is a place that I skipped earlier tonight. I didn't think it would be worthwhile, just because I thought there would be too many people hustling, and obviously I was down a lot of money, over $2,000, and I wanted to make that money back, so I wanted to put myself in a position where I had the best potential, and I think I did that. And I think if it wasn't for having a high count shoe, a super low count shoe, and another high count shoe, and both the high count ones being at the end of the shoe, making it obvious what I was doing, I would have played longer. Well, maybe not, actually, because those 4 people came to the table at the same time. I think my time was over at that place anyway. And then I had to leave to meet my friend. So there was just, I think it worked out as well as it could have. And that was also part of the reason why I skipped this place, was because I wanted to make sure that I had my full blackjack session in before meeting my friend. Anyway, I go into this place and I'm looking around and nothing. I lose like $40, $60 almost right away when I come in. I play a couple other machines. Now I'm down like $20. And then there's this long stretch where there's nothing. And I'm down about $35. I'd bought in for a total of about $200. Had about $165 on my ticket. And I see this game, and it's in a good position, but lately it's been a little bit stubborn. And I play it through at $1.50 a spin. I'm there for like 10 minutes, and I end up ahead $1 on it. I'm like, man, that was a nice waste of time. I walk around, and I see another game, a game that's pretty new to me. Very, it is high variance, but it's very big potential and very huge potential to lose if you don't know what you're doing. It's one of those games that basically only the people who know what they're doing are going to make money, and everyone else is going to get sucked in and lose and lose and lose. Because by the time you realize what's going on, it's too late. Anyway, I sit at this machine. I go through all the levels. I see a play. There's another machine next to it that's the same type. And I look at that and I see a play on that one. So I'm playing the first one. They're both the same dollar amount, just different denomination, but the same dollar amount. So I'm playing. Then next thing you know, I'm down like 200, 225, 250, 300. And this girl who's a couple machines down, 2 girls, they come over and they sit. One of them sits next to me, and the other one's watching her. And she starts playing it, and I'm thinking, you're going to lose your ass. But what could I do? What could I possibly do? So I finish up my play, and it actually puts me ahead. Now I'm ahead like $35 or $40. And I want that machine that they're on, but I know it's going to take them a minute to run out of money. They're playing minimum bet, putting in a 20, spin the reel, giggle, talk, spin the reel again, point to stuff on the screen. You know how people are. So I'm like, okay, I'll move on. I'll come back. There's nobody in here anyway. I'll be back, and these guys will be gone. So I go into another area, and I see 2 plays on 2 machines next to each other. And one at a $3 a spin level, and one at a 60-cent level. So I decide to go for the first one, the big one first. And I play that through and end up ahead like $100. I was a little disappointed in that, but what are you going to do? I play the 60-cent one, I end up ahead like $40. So that was actually pretty good. And now I'm ahead total like 150, I don't know, something like that. Somewhere around 150. So I decide to go back in and check the machine the girls were on. I go there and they're gone. I sit down. I've got a voucher now for like $5.50, $5.60, somewhere in there. And I start playing, and it's a little stubborn, but it hits, and it ends up paying really, really nicely, actually. And when I get up, I'm ahead $402 for the session. So I get up, I start walking around, I see a guy. I'm like, oh Lord, thank God I didn't see him earlier, because that would have meant everything was gone. But I was done. I took one more lap around, I saw nothing else, and I ended up leaving ahead $402. So can't complain about that. And now I think back to the beginning of our day, and if I hadn't stopped at that spot and everything else had gone, the same, I'd be ahead about 26 or 2,700. So it's a shame that we had to start with a big drop, but pretty much made almost all of it back. I want to go to another casino and see if we can pick up a little bit more. I'd love to pick up a couple hundred more and be ahead for the night after that huge drop early in the day. And honestly, I was going to give myself the best shot possible, but I didn't expect to get it all back. I expected to get half of it, maybe a little bit more back, but I'm very pleased the way that it's gone so far. And we'll see how the last place goes. So I'm going to let you go for now. I'm going to move on to the next one, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. Whew, I went into that place with low hopes, for sure. Tired, and it's getting very late. Actually, it's not late. It's very early now. And I go into this place, and it's pretty deserted. It's pretty quiet. I look at a couple machines like I normally would, and then I'm going to the far back corner of this casino to look, and I look behind me, and Mr. Beardy is behind me. This guy with the beard who's always hanging around, never talks, but he's always everywhere. If I understand what it means, he is omnipresent. He is everywhere at the same time. Anywhere I go, he is there. Either him or this really pale, chubby white guy, real pale-skinned, chubby white guy. And one of them is holding down the fort at every casino in the United States, I think. So anyway, I see him, I'm like deflated. I'm like, oh, well, I had low hopes, now I have no hopes. What's worse is I had some free play expire at midnight, and I've got new free play that doesn't start till 6 a.m., so I don't get either one. So, oh well, what are you going to do? Let me think here. Going back here, what did I do? Okay, the first thing I played was a machine that is pretty much not an advantage play unless a bunch of conditions are in order. So I sat down, I played that one, and I ended the session. It had like $13. And then I'm like, yeah, but you can make a case for this and this. And I talked myself into continuing on and ended up leaving the machine down like 170. So that was my fault. Walk around, don't see anything. Walk around, don't see anything. So now I'm like, well, whatever. I made a couple small plays. I was down about $35 at this point. I'm like, well, I guess that's it. I'm leaving. And then I see one more machine, and it's at an odd number. It's like, let's just say $4 a spin. And I sit down to play that one, and I get a couple small hits on the run up, and I'm just waiting for it to pay out so I can go home. And I'm playing, and it's stretching it out more and more and more. And finally it hits, and it pays. Well, I'm involved in this machine like $500 and something at this point. Well, not in this machine. Overall, I'm in for $500, and I've got like $80 left, and I end up hitting for almost $900 on this machine. And overall, I ended up ahead $470. So, what did you just say? Did you just say that you started down almost $3,000 and you ended the last stop ahead for the night? Unbelievable. unbelievable. This does not normally happen. I do not normally win at these specific casinos this much money. Usually it's just scraps here and there, and I'm hoping for a good blackjack win. Tonight I ended up with an okay blackjack win, and then all these bits and pieces added together into something beautiful, and that's the way it happens. So after all is said and done, I ended up ahead, I don't know how much, 300 or something, 300 for the night. Long night. Not going to be getting home till a couple hours before work, and frankly I think my wife is sick of it on Sunday nights, so I don't know if I'll be able to too much anymore. If I can't, then I'm going to be really behind the 8 ball, because then I'll only be able to play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'm going to have to cut my goals way back if that happens. So coming up this week, Monday, which is tomorrow or today, I have to be at the office. I will make 1 or 2 appearances at a casino. Tuesday, I have to be at the office. I'll make 1, 2, or 3 appearances at a casino, and then I have a meeting Tuesday night, late night meeting, and have all my normal work to do, blah, 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 all that stuff. Make myself look good in front of the team player, rah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So that's what's happening right now. Don't know if anything weird's going to happen on the way home, so I'll be back. Alright guys, still on my drive home. I think I'm going to wrap it up right now. It's down to about 34 degrees and still about an hour and a half away from home. So I think everything will be fine. Roads are dry, clean. Very, very little traffic on the road. I can see like a mile in front of me and a mile behind me, and there's a total of 3 trucks that I see. So I'm going to let you go for now. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.